radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man. Today's Tuesday, March 17th, 2020. 77 days into the new year, only 289 days left. We are live. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? All right. Oh, man. This chair's driving me crazy. Good news is Amazon just hired, 100,000 people, so maybe it's time to order me a new chair. It won't stay up. You have no idea how much this drives me crazy. All right. Tonight, we're going to have a Fade or Not Community Coronavirus Town Hall. That's what we are going to do tonight. We're going to be taking your questions. I want to hear from all of you. What are you doing? How are you doing? How's your family doing? Everything from around the country and around the world. So we'll be attempting to answer your questions. I'll go through all of that. Tonight, I've split up the news tonight. I've got the good news and the bad news. All right? Instead of one big chunk of bad news, right? Okay, so I've split that up. We're doing things a little bit different, and a couple of other things. So that's tonight. Tomorrow night, Lori Spagna is here. It's going to be a great show. You're not going to want to miss that. The show must go on. Thursday is another Fader night with open lines all night long. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. Little note, I will be over hosting Coast to Coast AM this weekend, and I'll be standing in for George on Friday night. I'll have a special guest, one of our friends will be with me, and then, of course, open lines for Friday night, which we do every Friday night over at Coast, and then I'll be also standing in on Saturday night, and I've got a couple of cool guests there, too, as well. And all of that will be announced on Thursday on the Coast to Coast website. Okay? All right. I always leak it. I'll leak it. I'll leak it maybe tomorrow night. Definitely on Thursday. Okay? There you go. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple enough. As everybody knows, we have a couple of ways to stay in contact through the show. And one of them is the Sandbox, which is hashtag F2B on Twitter. that stays live right in front of me right here. You guys are the best. And watching it light up every night before showtime is one of my joys throughout the day, is anticipating all of that. So you can do that. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Hashtag F2BQ is Fade to Black questions. Okay? So put your questions there. And, I'm going to throw Dew Sky under the bus. Dew Sky just posted, it looks like a poem, and which is cool. Fade to Black questions, F2BQ. Okay? Because then I have to scroll through that. Oh, as a matter of fact, Dew Sky's clogged up F2BQ. I feel so bad now. Just post questions there, please. Don't put any graphics or anything like that. Keep that clean for me, okay? I just need to see Fade to Black questions. Okay, all right. Where am I at? Oh, you can also email throughout the show, Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. And I really do. I try to get to as many of the emails as I can throughout the show. Okay? All right. Let's see. Where am I at? Oh, okay. I got some big news for all of you Fadernauts before I get to the breaking news. Tonight, all the way through this Thursday on Fader Night, River Moon Coffee is offering a very special stay-at-home, shelter-at-home, and don't run out of coffee discount for all of you Fadernauts. I'm so happy about this. Right now, you can get 20% off of your coffee and, of course, the Fade to Black blend with the promo code Jimmy. That's all you got to do. Promo code Jimmy. Go to rivermooncoffee.com, click on the banners over at our website. Go straight there. Promo code is Jimmy. That's all you got to do. Promo code Jimmy, 20% off of your order. I'm going to say this. We never run out of coffee here, right? Fade to Black blend. I'm just one of those people that doesn't run out of coffee. You don't want to run out of coffee, especially with what we're going through right now. One thing that's going to get you through all of this is some Fade to Black blend. Okay, so the promo code is Jimmy. This is not a sales pitch, man. This is a discount, a further 5% discount off of the 50% we offer every single day, every single week, just for you. Okay, now we just want to make sure you don't run out of coffee. You don't want to run out of coffee. And this is the time where you hoard the coffee. Promo code Jimmy over at rivermooncoffee.com. I will hit you back with this a few times tonight during the show because this is just going to run through Thursday night. All right? All right. Promo code is Jimmy. Let's get to the breaking news. Oh, calls are already coming in. All right. I'm putting you on hold, and you just stay right there. Okay. Today, finally, the stock market ended in the positive today at plus 1,048. That's right, finishing at 21,237. That's kind of how I've been gauging my day lately, right? I just, okay, for everybody that's already calling in, and when you call in, I'm going to put you on hold. Don't hang up. It's really that simple. And wow, okay, everybody just chill out. I'm putting you on hold, okay? I'm putting you on hold. I got a show to do, people. I normally do this during the breaks. Okay, all right, okay. I see what's happening. Holy crap. Okay, all right. My own switchboard. Okay, all right, that's it. That's all I'm doing. Stock market finished up today, 1,048, finishing at 21,237. And as promised, I've broken this up into two different sections tonight, and I'm going to continue with the good news. The U.S. Defense Department is giving 5 million face masks to health officials. Spain will distribute more than 1 million face masks after China shipped them 500,000, adding to their existing 546,000. So there you go. They will be distributing 1 million face masks in Spain. The National Guard deployed in 22 states to help out with coronavirus. Really appreciate that. The European Commission president hopes a vaccine will be on the market before autumn, and that is huge news. New York City will be able to run up to 5,000 tests per day by Thursday. More good news. The Pentagon prepares to ready Navy hospital ships to support coronavirus response. One will be on the East Coast, one will be on the West Coast. The drastic measures enforced by China during the coronavirus outbreak has slashed deadly air pollution, potentially saving the lives of tens of thousands of people. You didn't expect that, did you? We got cleaner air today. All right. The Trump administration is working to send $1,000 directly to Americans in as little as 3 weeks who make under $100,000 per year. And that is really cool news. And this will be followed up by another $1,000K, right? $1,000 a few weeks later. Also announced today, more good news. IRS payments are delayed 90 days to July 15th. Whew. You like that news, don't you? Britain unveils a $400 billion economic package for struggling businesses. Facebook is giving $1,000 to all of its 45,000 employees and will continue to pay hourly workers, such as janitors and cafeteria workers, all of their regular wages despite reduced working hours. The Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez today has approved a $220 billion aid package to help tackle the economic impact of the coronavirus. So there you go. Now for the bad news. It's not so bad. It wasn't as bad today. Things are starting to chill out. But coronavirus has now reached all 50 states after West Virginia confirmed its first case earlier today. There has been a 40% decrease in travel through Atlanta's airport. Italy has now more than 31,000 confirmed cases, adding over 3,500 cases in the last 24 hours. The United States Treasury Secretary warns that the United States could see 20% unemployment rate due to coronavirus. The United Nations Security Council has canceled all meetings this week. Dunkin' Donuts is moving to drive-through and carry-out services only. The PGA Tour cancels 4 more tournaments. The Brooklyn Nets' Kevin Durant and 3 other players have tested positive for coronavirus. The United Kingdom police may detain infectious persons under new coronavirus emergency bill proposals. California's largest mall here in Southern California, it's called the South Coast Plaza, and it's massive, is now closed after an employee from the Christian Louboutin boutique tested positive for coronavirus. A study says the novel coronavirus can last on surfaces for up to 3 days and stay alive in the air for hours. European Union agrees to close all external borders for the next 30 days. Disney postpones Marvel's Black Widow until May 1st. Macy's will temporarily close all of its stores by the end of day today. And UEFA, you know this is real, when UEFA has decided to postpone this year's European Soccer Championship until 2021. Holy crap. AMC Theaters are temporarily closing all of its theaters until further notice. IKEA has shut all of its stores in Germany, and Volkswagen is temporarily halting all of its production. Airbus is temporarily halting its production in Spain and France, and NASA orders all of its employees to telework until further notice. 6.1 million students are out of school in California, where 98.8% of all of our schools are closed. Our governor announced right before showtime that schools are going to remain closed for the rest of the year, all the way to summer break. Nearly 8 million Northern California residents have been asked to shelter in place until April 7th. Sonoma County was just added to that list. The air traffic control tower at Chicago Midway International Airport is temporarily closed after several technicians at the facility have tested positive for coronavirus. Now, see, that's bad news, but it wasn't as bad as it was yesterday. I'm not saying things are, chilling out and taking the turn. But, man, the sun came out in Southern California today for the first time in 10 days, almost 2 weeks, and it just felt better today. All right, it just did. So let's see. Now, let's get to the real numbers. Yesterday on Monday, March 16th at 7 p.m. PST, these were the numbers. Okay, this is yesterday. Coronavirus cases worldwide, 182,383. Deaths at 7,144. Recovered, 78,342. Now, those numbers today, Tuesday, March 17th, as of 7 p.m. PST, coronavirus cases 198,241 versus yesterday at 182. Deaths 7,965 versus yesterday at 7,144. Recovered 81,743. Okay, versus yesterday at 78,000. There are currently 108,533 active cases worldwide, and 7,020, 6%, are considered serious or critical. 101,406, 94%, are considered mild conditions. With that, let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Kurt Russell is 69. Rob Lowe is 56. Gary Sinise today is 65. And Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan is just 53 years old. Our dead guy's birthday today, Nat King Cole, 1919 to 1965, died at the age of 45. Of course, American singer, jazz pianist. He recorded over 100 songs that became hits on the pop charts. His trio was the model for small jazz ensembles that followed. Cole also acted in films and on television and performed on Broadway. He was the first African-American man to host an American television series. That is a fact. And, of course, he is the father of singer-songwriter Natalie Cole. On Valentine's Day, 1965, Cole and his wife briefly left St. John's Hospital to drive to the sea. He died the next day at the age of 45 of lung cancer. Happy birthday, Nat King Cole. On this day in history, OTD 1901, 71 paintings by the late Dutch painter Vincent van Gogh are shown in a gallery in Paris for the first time, 11 years after his death, forever changing the world of fine art. And this is what's nuts. That was 11 years after his death, his suicide. In his lifetime, he had only sold one painting on this day in 1901. Fader fact. Okay, here you go. You ready? Elizabeth Taylor's amazing eyes were caused by a rare genetic mutation, which was responsible for her having 2 rows of eyelashes. Yep. I bet you didn't know that, did you? And that is your Fader fact. All right, tonight we're going to have our Fader Not Community Coronavirus Town Hall. Okay? The phone lines are not open yet. I do have calls on hold, but that number is 747-228-2051. I want to hear from all of you. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know about your concerns, your questions, what your community is doing, how you're doing locally, and did you buy toilet paper? Okay? I want to know all of that. 747-228-2051. And at this point of the show, I always drink my River Moon coffee. I take a sip, and I go, yeah. I do. That's what I do. But tonight and through Thursday, River Moon Coffee is offering a very special stay-at-home shelter-in-place, do not run out of coffee special. That's right. The promo code is Jimmy. That's all you got to do. Jimmy, you're not going to forget. Punch in Jimmy. You're going to get 20% off of your River Moon Coffee right now. Do it. Order it. Don't run out of coffee. Click on the River Moon Coffee banners over at jimmychurchradio.com. You can go straight to the website if you want. FadeToBlack. rivermooncoffee.com. FadeToBlackBlend.com. And we should have a website. Okay. All right. This morning, the good news outnumbered the bad for the first time in 2 weeks. And this evening, the sun came out for the first time here in Southern California in almost 2 weeks. I couldn't believe it. This morning, raining, overcast. It just hasn't stopped. Today, right? Sun came out. It felt good. It felt good to me. It was a strange day, right? Okay. All right. Today, I wrote my column for the Telepath newsletter. Well, actually, I wrote it yesterday, and I read some of it last night on the air, like I do pretty much every Monday night. I write for the Telepath. I get it done. I read some of it in my rant. The next day, it's published, and that's what I do, right? And in it, I mentioned in my column today, and if you get the Telepath newsletter, you've already read this. But I mentioned the supplements that my family and I take each day. And I do mention it from time to time here on the show. I do that. But right now is the time for you to get on the daily supplement train. Just do it. Seriously. And this is not a sales pitch. I don't care where you get your stuff from. You know where to go. And if you don't have a source that you're familiar with, then head over to Life Change Tea. The banners and links are over on our site, jimmychurchradio.com. But this is what I take every single day. I have a custom super multivitamin that I double dose with. It's made for me, but any good multivitamin will do. You know what to do. I dropper 1,000 milligrams of CBD in the morning and before bed. I take a 10,000 unit dropper dose of B12 and D3 every single day. I double dropper pine bark. I double dropper olive leaf extract, and I double dropper moringa every single day. I also drink Life Change Tea every single day, at least one glass. This is what I do, and so does my family, and we've done this for years because it's just the right thing to do. And right now, I'm so happy that we got into the habit. I didn't know, just like the rest of us, that one day I would wake up to a worldwide virus pandemic that you only see in the movies. And the one thing that I feel pretty good about is that we've been trying to take care of our bodies for the last few years. And trust me, I did everything I could for 50 years to make sure that I was the most unhealthy dude on the planet, and I resisted as long as I could. Seriously. And here's the crazy part, right? This is the crazy thought of the day. Our community has always been about being healthy, about eating right and drinking right, trying to be very conscious about our lifestyle. And quite frankly, the rest of the world kind of make fun of us, right? They did. And I hate to say it, but I will. We were right. We were right. And just like Rush, the band, and Shakespeare said, the meek shall inherit the earth. Just kidding. Not really. No, I'm just kidding. Not really. The truth is the truth. If you have ignored your body, and you know if you have, now is the time to get on the path of fixing things after years of abuse. And you're going to be glad that you did. On a side note, making sure that you have all of the immune support your body needs doesn't mean that you have to give up everything that you love. The only drastic thing I said bye-bye to was soft drinks. And yes, it's really true. Rita and I only drink water and coffee, of course, right? But we've been drinking only water for about 5 years. And I know that I mentioned drinking Mexican Coke once in a while, and I do. I'll never give that up. But it's only a bottle a month, if that. The rest of the time, it's water, all day, every day. I haven't stopped eating the things that I love. I haven't stopped eating steaks, red meat, Italian food, Mexican food, even fast food, Haagen-Dazs. I refuse to change my eating habits, but I have counterbalanced all of it with heavy vitamins, supplements, and drinking Life Change tea. It may not be the best diet in the world, but in my mind, it works for me. And right now, with all of the coronavirus madness, it seems that we made the right choices a few years ago. One last note before we head to the break about social distancing. And yeah, for the first time, it's just, I'm going to say this, just do it. Put some space between you and everyone else. Give it a week or two. Stay at home, watch some movies, listen to Fade to Black. It's no big deal, right? The news really did start to chill out today. Not by much, but it is a step in the right direction. Listen, I love this country. I'm proud to be an American. And together, with everyone around the world, we can start to get through all of this. So just think about that. Start taking care of your body. Put a little space between everybody else. Hang out at the house. Wash your hands a couple of more times. Take some showers. Mop the floors. Clean up. That's all. That's all. Do it for a couple of weeks, and we're going to come out of this on the other side. All right? All right. This is our Fade or Not Community Coronavirus Town Hall Special. Tonight, I'll be taking your calls from around the country and all around the world. I want to hear from all of you. I want to hear how you're doing, what you've done to prepare. Are you staying at home? Are you in lockdown? Are you in quarantine? What are you faced with travel restrictions? Have you been asked to work from home? All of these things. What are you doing? How are you doing? I want to hear from you and your family. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. I'm going to take a break right here, and I'm going to come back and start taking your phone calls. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. This is the rules. When you call in, you're going to hear my voice. Then you're going to hear me jump in and say, hey, I'm putting you on hold, like this person right here. Right? That's it. It's going to go silent for a few minutes, and then you're going to hear me come back and say, welcome to Fade to Black. Who's calling? It's really that simple. I'll be right back after this short break. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, our Fade or Not Community Coronavirus Town Hall. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
OMG, People are jumping on board to the Life Change Tea regiment. Brew, steep, and drink for a gentle, taste great cleanse. It's changing how they feel. See what everybody's talking about. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Life Change Tea aids in digestive slowdown and helps people get moving down a healthy path. We won't make claims. We'll just let you decide. Experience is much better than a commercial anyway. If you want results, log on to getthetea.com and purchase your super strength cleansing tea. You won't be disappointed. And if you're looking for some mind-body suggestions, go to YouTube and punch in the search bar Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. Put power into your health now. So, getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com for super strength tea. And YouTube, Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now for valuable suggestions. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, our Fade or Not Coronavirus Town Hall. I want to hear from all of you around the country. Got a lot of calls on hold. It's going to be a busy night on the phones, but that's why we are here. All right, I want to know how you doing, what you are doing, how your family is, the community. Have you been asked to shelter in place? And has it gotten even worse? All right. It's going to be a great night on the phones. It's going to be busy, and I'm going to just get straight to it. Let's go. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's first up tonight?
Hello?
Yes, you're live.
All right, this is Curtis.
Hey, Curtis, how are you, man? Where are you calling from?
I'm from out of Lake LA.
Yeah, you're close. I can see by the area code. I'm not going to announce that, Curtis. Which lake in LA?
Lake in LA. Well, the dry lake bed that really used to be a kick-ass lake spot back in the 70s, but that no longer exists.
I got you. It's all dried up. So anyway.
Mickey Blue Eyes used to have a house that overlooked it, but it's all dried up.
So how you?
Anyways, it's good town.
Yeah, how are you doing out there?
Well, goddamn, I just took a trip out to Phelan not too long ago, and when I come back, I went by a what's that store? I can't remember the name, but anyway, it was a madhouse.
How bad?
They were limiting the amount of people that were able to walk into the store.
Oh, are you talking about Costco?
No.
Oh, it's another store. Well, how are you personally? Are you living with your family? Do you live alone?
Well, I've got a elderly father and a handicapped brother, and both of them are dependent upon medication. And I'm kind of concerned about the fact that, what's going to happen when you can't go get medication?
Yeah, and I've read a little bit about this, and I think doctors are being a little bit flexible right now, that if you have prescriptions, then you can go and get those filled. And is your father and your brother, are they dependent on you for help?
Yes, they are to a point, but that mostly is like going to the doctor, just transportation.
And what about, well, certainly your father, you're going to make sure that he has enough food at home to eat, right?
That doesn't really seem to be a problem. I mean, we got stored foods and whatnot.
Okay,
but,
good.
We also have chickens and geese and stuff that are laying eggs for us.
Oh, man, you got it going on. I went to the store yesterday to get eggs. I left without eggs. And yeah, I know. Well, and everything else. What about the community around you? Is everything calm? I just, this is the thing through all of this, Curtis, is although it's tough to remain calm with the fear porn that is all over the media. And and going to
what an apt word.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, going to stores and seeing mayhem doesn't help things either. And I've been going through the same situations. I have already before this, I've tried to make sure that we were prepared somewhat in case of an emergency. I wouldn't call it prepping, but we've got things. I'm feeling okay today. If things went nuts, this is what I did. Screw buying water from the store. We recycled all of our water bottles. We've got a water filtration system, and we're filling up water bottles. And if people want to go and hoard water from the stores, okay, maybe they don't have filtration. Just go out and, if you can, buy a Brita filter and filter the water at your house and fill up water bottles or gallon jugs, and you'll be okay. I don't even know why people are doing it.
Can I interject for a moment?
Sure.
It is asinine hyperconsumerism, and then that, I think, is the disease, not this coronavirus.
Yes,
it's people buying things that they don't need.
Yes, and this is my take, and I'm going to be straight up with you, Curtis. Most people in Los Angeles, I can't speak for the rest of the country. I'm just saying most people in Los Angeles, they live day by day. Or they're going to the store to buy food, or they're going to fast food every single day, and they don't have stuff at home. Something like this happens, they have to look around and go, man, you know what? Honestly, we don't have anything at the house. So they are forced for the first time to go out and stock up. It's the same thing with, an earthquake or anything that happens here in Southern California. People here don't think about next week. It's just the way that the way that people live here. I live the same way. I really do. So when the earthquake hit in 1994, we didn't have anything at home. We had nothing. And
I was around there for that too. My bed was in the middle of my bedroom.
And so, yeah. My TV landed on my lap in bed. So, but that's the way that Southern Californians live. I can't speak for the rest of the country. And I know that the way that my mom lives in Indianapolis, and the way that most people, they have a pantry full of food.
Yeah.
Here in Southern California, they don't even build pantries in a house. They don't do it, man. There's no such thing as a pantry. Southern California, It's not the way that we live. So I think that is probably the case, that most people here in Southern California we're just not ready for this. And hopefully most of this shopping madness is going to get past us. So there you go. And Curtis, thank you for the phone call. Take care of your brother. Take care of your dad. It sounds like you guys are looking forward a little bit, and you've got the staple stuff, and you're taking care of. Just make sure that your dad and your brother, if he's in a wheelchair, just make sure that those guys have got what they need, and visit them. I think that is the most important thing. Just if we're forced into sheltering in place, what does that mean for the elderly and those like your brother that's in a wheelchair that may not get visitors. You know what I mean? Go hang out with them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for the phone call, man. And check back in with me, will you?
Will do.
Thank you so much, Curtis. Enjoy the rest of your night, man.
Will do.
That's a great phone call right there. And I am very concerned with the elderly. And Rita and I, we have Rita's parents. We post pictures of them all the time. And they're right here, and they're in their 80s, you know, and with what coronavirus is doing to the elderly and to those that may have, you know, underlying health conditions, there's that situation, but also the ability to get out. And I don't want, my parents want to do nothing but be normal. Right, they're out there. They're doing things. They don't want to stop their normal life, but them going to a store that is panic-ridden and people buying everything, and they arrive there and they can't buy what they need, you know. So Rita and I have the ability. They live close by, and we're able to visit them and make sure. And that includes our daughter Deanna, who hangs out there constantly, but I want to make sure that the rest of us do the same thing with our parents and the elderly. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Matt from Winnipeg. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Not bad, not bad. So this is what I've been up to. I've been looking at things like how to use Tesla coils and how to make ozone with electromagnetic frequencies to actually kill pathogens.
Oh, that's cool. But what are you going to do with those plane tickets that you were going to go to the United States with next week? You guys have closed down your borders now, right?
At least for the airplanes, but I'm not so sure. But you can still drive across the border and stuff. So, because they still need to bring in all the what do you call it? Those semi-trucks and things with all the vegetables and foods and et cetera, et cetera.
What
so
happened?
They're not about to close down all the borders entirely, so that way they kill the economy off.
Right.
But they'll be monitoring people very closely at the border who comes in and comes out.
What's the latest with Trudeau's wife, your first lady?
Truthfully, I'm not so sure because I don't keep up with that scam of an individual. What I'm pissed off about today and what I just learned about today, and this really infuriates me, is that they want to put in the War Measures Act.
Yeah, well, I've heard a couple of things. I didn't want to get this out there until I hear more about it. But there's a proposal also over in the United Kingdom to use the military and the police to enforce quarantines. And if you are infected, they will make sure that you are not hanging out in the public. And that kind of freaks me out.
Well, you know what they did just last night, and from coming in from Ontario to Manitoba from about 3 to 2 in the morning, they started bringing in the Canadian Forces, because I used to be a part of the Canadian Forces, so I used to see it there. They're going back from near Kenora, Ontario, into near Manitoba and further on into Brandon and further east. They're getting themselves into position. They're not officially doing anything, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to prepare, because I know what this is all about. But the War Measures Act that Canada wants to impose on us, or is talking about imposing, that's not what concerns me. What concerns me is they want to black out information from religious groups and newspapers, and that is entirely unacceptable, not in this day and age. Sure, that might have been okay in the 30s and 40s when everybody trusted their government, but for the kind of crap that these guys have been pulling on us, they can't be trusted with that kind of responsibility at this point in their lives.
Yeah.
There's no way could that ever go through.
Yeah, and you won't know. You won't know until all of this is over. So
exactly, and then there's no incentive to pull off the War Measures Act for the censorship that they're going to throw in on us in the first place. Like, sure, they might get away with that for a little while. The virus goes away, but then again, who stops that act from dispersing?
Yeah.
Nobody there to do so.
Yeah,
and that's what makes
I agree.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. Also, with things like the Patriot Act down here in the United States, where 9/11 was 20 years ago, And they just re-upped it a couple of days ago, and it's unsettling. You would have thought that it would have served its purpose and then been shut back down. So I agree, but you're not going to know for a month, and hopefully in a month you'll call in and go, it was no big deal. And that's I'm always walking around with those flowers hanging out of my pockets. Take care of yourself up there, Matt. And
no problem. You too there, buddy. Go backly tappy.
Go backly tappy. Make sure you got all that spaghetti and pasta sauce that you can handle, okay?
All right, will do.
I'll talk to you. Thank you, Matt. And again, Matt checking in from Canada. And wow, these calls, these phones are nuts right now. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, Jimmy.
Hi, who's this?
This is Forsaken Roeth.
Hey, Forsaken.
Hey.
I love it when somebody uses their Twitter name to make sure that Twitter lights up. So there you go.
Well, of course. I've got to let my Fader fam know it's me. Yeah. My real name's Hope, but, Hope Forsaken Roeth, same person. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, and, I got something to tell you.
What's up?
Okay. So, my mom, she is a guard for an ADT call center here in Knoxville. Mm-hmm. And she told me that people have been stealing the Purell bag in the Purell dispensers in the bathrooms.
Uh-huh.
The hand sanitizers.
Yep.
And also that the toilet paper supplier for all the ADT call centers are unable to fulfill industry toilet paper rolls for the ADT call centers. So the separate ADT call center administrations, they've been having to source their toilet paper from elsewhere.
So what? Why don't they just install bidets?
Well, I think that concept is still a bit questionable to most Americans.
What is it? Let's talk about this for a second. What is the deal with toilet paper? If you go, I don't know. Let's say you have 4 people living at home. Mom, dad, couple of kids, right? Doesn't a 6-pack of toilet paper, doesn't that last you a month? I'm just saying. Okay. All right. What, 3 weeks? What do you need, 40 rolls for?
Well, I was curious about that as well. So I did some research, and I read this article from Psychology Today.
Yep.
And apparently, when there's panic and fear, our survival mode kicks in. It's in our DNA in the frontal lobe part of our primal self or whatever. So, in order to be able to feel that we have some control over a situation that we actually can't control, we go and we seek out a big bulky thing and we buy lots of it.
Yeah, I read the same thing. And although it makes a lot of sense, right? But let's talk about what normal life is. All right, I'm not I'm not a stranger to running out of toilet paper, right? We've all done it, and
the struggle's real.
Right. And I've toilet paper towels, Kleenex. We've all done that, whatever. Who cares? What? Toilet paper, really? And the toilet paper manufacturers around this country are now, thankfully, they have everybody working overtime. Those jobs are not in jeopardy, apparently. The paper towel companies, those jobs aren't in jeopardy. Kleenex Clorox wipes, baby wipes, diaper wipes, all of these wipes. That's where you want to buy stock right now, apparently. I'm just so...
Yeah. No, I get it. And here's what I don't understand. Okay, so like our baby wipes and, our paper towels and our toilet paper, well, they're made in this country. So there's not an actual fear of like it running out because we make our own. And it's like, okay, why are you hoarding it? We make it here. If you don't hoard it, then everybody will have some.
Yeah, you can buy some next week. I just don't get it.
Exactly.
How are you doing, Hope? How are you and the rest of the family doing though? What's it like there in Tennessee?
Well, all right. This is the South, and it's more like a slow. It's more like a slow, calm panic. They've introduced, the stores like the dollar store and stuff have introduced like the first hour of opening reserved for like seniors and those that have like underlying illness to go shopping to and stuff.
As it should be.
Yeah, exactly. People here in Knoxville, they're actually obeying that. So they're waiting until after that first hour before they go and go back to hoarding the toilet paper and the chicken. Apparently, is the new thing to hoard, and feminine hygiene products.
Well, we got to talk about it. And what's funny is, so the other day I told Rita, and I'm not kidding about this. All right, I said, Rita, we got to go to Target or Walmart, and whatever. Target's closer. And she goes, why? I said, I need Axe body wash. And she's like, oh man. And she didn't. I said, Rita, I'm out of it. It's not that I want to stock up on it for the next 6 months. I took the last squirt out of the bottle yesterday in the shower. I don't have any. And I can't buy that at the other stores, and it's cheap. She goes, order it from Amazon. And I was like, oh man, she doesn't want me going into public, and I understand that, so okay. So I ordered it from Amazon. It was supposed to be here tomorrow. It arrived today. But my point is, I actually ran out. And immediately Rita thought I was hoarding, like I was going to go buy a case of Axe body wash. And other body washes don't work for me. I don't want the other stuff. That's what I use. And that's what I want, and that's what I buy, and I had to order from Amazon. But they actually shipped it today, and it arrived today. I ordered it yesterday. I couldn't believe it. It was supposed to be here tomorrow. So there you go. Well, listen, Hope.
Oh, Jimmy. I just want to say thank you for letting the Fader fam know what you smell like. That's good to know.
That's my scent. That's my scent. Really quick before I hit the break, and I've got so many calls on hold. Everybody just relax. I'll get to everybody tonight. Do you have a pantry?
I do. We started making our small pantry because it's only my mother and I, and she's elderly, and I'm like, oh my God, my mom, she's over 70.
Right.
And we do. We started slowly, just buying a little bit extra at our normal, grocery store trips. We started in the middle of February. So,
Wendy just said, Jimmy, we got to get you off that stuff. No, I like my Axe. That's what I do. I totally agree with you. Rita and I can only speak for us when I give advice, what we do. Just in a normal situation, we have pasta. I like Italian food. We've got organic bottles of sauces just in case. I like to make my own marinara sauce, so or meat sauce or whatever. I like to do that. But it just in a normal day, we have those things. So we bought a couple of extra, stuff here and there. but we're okay. We eat lots of rice. We always, we buy 20, 25-pound bags of rice once every 6 months so we don't run out. So we have these things. And it's not out of normal shopping. And that's what everybody else should do. And if you don't normally stock stuff in the house, you don't have to go crazy. Just get enough for a week, and if you got to go out in a week and get some more, do it. But don't go crazy, and don't make somebody like my parents who are going to the store not be able to buy what they need. As elderly people going out and shopping because you've decided to, do 6 months worth of shopping, and that's not really cool either. So there you go.
It's not fair to everyone. I mean, we're supposed to pull together, think of each other, before you buy all them 56 rolls of toilet paper, at least leave one. If everybody leaves one of something, then everybody else will have something instead of nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Rita and I came home from shopping, and we couldn't buy flour and sugar, right? We came home, I looked in the, we're stocking up stuff, and I looked down and I go, look, there's a 10-pound bag of flour. There's a 5-pound bag of sugar. Let's take that to your parents. What? Am I going to need to cook bread this week? No, my mom needs it, and she asked for flour and sugar. We have it. It's no big deal. We'll be able to get some next week. It's not the end of the world yet, right? And that's what we should do. And that's it. I can only, you know what? I practice what I preach. There you go. Hope, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you right here tomorrow night. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Bye, Jimmy. Bye, Fader fam.
Forsaken Roweth right there. And Twitter, I'm just going to say it is so cool to hear her voice. And for all of you, right, to hear her call in from Tennessee. Oh, by the way, she said the South. She's not the South. She's the Mid-South. That's right. You never heard of the Mid-South. Go to Tennessee. They'll always say the Mid-South's #1 news program, the Mid-South's #1 supermarket, the Mid-South's #1 family restaurant, the Mid-South. It's always the Mid-South. There you go. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our Fade or Not Coronavirus Town Hall. I want to hear from all of you. Lots of calls on hold. Lots of calls coming in. Remember, I'm going to put you, you're going to hear my voice, put you on hold, then I'm going to come back and say, yo. When you hear my voice, turn down the radio. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More of your calls are next. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or to speak with a trained consultant. Give Angioprim a call at 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fade or Not, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting, interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in. Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with, you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
You're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. The call-in number tonight, our coronavirus Fadernaut Town Hall, is 747-228-2051. Want to give a big shout-out to everybody over on YouTube, in the chat room hanging out. Hello to everybody there. And, of course, Periscope and what is kicking off over there. Hello to everybody. And, of course, Facebook Live over on our Fade to Black radio page, our company page. We are broadcasting there, too, as well. So hello to everybody. Again, the call-in number is 747-228-2051. I do want to hear from all of you. I want to know about your community, your family, what you are doing, how you are doing. And are you in sheltering in place? Have you been asked to do anything? Are you watching movies on Amazon and Netflix instead of going to the movie theaters? All of those things, okay? 747-228-2051. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Bob McGuire.
Hey, Bob. How are you, man?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm in Blacksburg, of course, at Virginia Tech, and it is a ghost town. I mean, nobody's here. I saw the last few foreign students moving out of the dorms today. It is empty restaurants, no lines for gas, grocery store is full of stuff because nobody's buying.
I wish that was the case here in Southern California. And it did freak me out today when our governor announced right before showtime that, 98.8% of our schools in California are closed. We have one of our daughters is in college. Her stuff is shut down for the next 6 weeks. They were going into spring break anyway, another 3 weeks after that. I believe that's the case. It may be longer. But our governor said schools are going to remain closed all for the rest of the year, all the way to summer vacation. Do not expect them to open back up. And that's kind of a shocker, just kind of a shocker to hear that's what we're going through. But to hear from
Isn't it a wake-up call?
Well,
isn't it a wake-up call? It's just amazing.
It is a wake-up call. It shows you how unprepared, not only us as a country, how unprepared we were, but the rest of the world. We're not there. We're all in this together. And it doesn't matter about coronavirus or infecting or any of that. It's the reaction. That's what we're dealing with. That's the real issues here. Is the reaction, and we were not prepared for this, and hence the reaction from everybody. I am comforted in knowing that it's not panic mode where you are at, or generally speaking, I would say around the country. With the panic shopping, the fear shopping, and the hoarding, and empty store shelves, like we're experiencing here in Southern California. It's crazy. You go outside of Southern California, just a few dozen miles, and it's not the case. It is certainly the case here in the Valley and Los Angeles County proper.
Yep. So here we're preparing with all these online tools. All the classes are going to be taught online. The only people that are really getting shorted are the people who have these lab courses. And I have no clue what the lab course instructors are doing. But it's pretty amazing to see 37,500 students just say, gone, and we'll teach you online.
Yeah, I know. And when I had read, I don't know if it was Harvard or Yale, made the announcement last week, schools closed. Pack up and leave. And if you're away on spring break, don't come back. And the thing is, this is the trippy thing. They said, okay, we'll give you an extra day if you're living in the dorms, right? And here's the thing with that, Bob. This is what's really trippy. Harvard and Yale, those students have the financial means to go and do whatever. Call mom and dad and I'm coming home, or pay for an apartment or whatever. Most students that are in college don't have that kind of luxury, and most parents, after their kids leave, they turn their bedroom into a sewing room. What do you mean? What do you mean I don't have my bedroom? What did you think? You moved out, man. I build models in there now. We threw your bed away.
Hey, go get a job.
Yeah, go get a job. Get your own apartment. Me and your mom were living large, man, since you left. Life is good.
So I'm mostly a research person. So this year I didn't teach a class. So it's so empty. I'm getting 10 times as much work done as I normally do because nobody's bothering me. That part's good. Yep. But this whole building, 50 offices, I'm the only one in it.
So the other day, before I let you go, Bob, and thank you for checking in with us. The other day, Rita and I, we had a little family get together, right? And somebody said, "Hey, our son is back from college in Virginia." I said, "Where's he going?" She goes, "Virginia Tech." I went, "No way! What?" And it turned out, so I went over and I said, "Hey, man, Virginia Tech." He goes, no, I'm going to VCU. Okay, never mind. Did you have a question? No, not really. No, it's all good, man. So I got all excited there for a second. Hey, Bob, thank you so much for checking in with us, and I'm glad that your community, as crazy as all of this may be, but you guys are normal, and that makes me feel good.
Have a good one.
Bob McGuire. Thank you, Bob. Bob McGuire checking in from Virginia. How cool is that? And, the schools doing what they are doing, colleges, I've got mixed feelings about it. Okay, and there's so many different ways to look at it. But one thing is for certain. Those college students are adults. At that point, you're an adult. It's different when you're closing down kindergartens, and elementary schools and junior high schools and high schools where those students live at home with mom and dad. And who's going to babysit? Who's going to take care of? And absolutely, they get breakfast and lunch at those schools. And one of the highlights of my day, I still love cafeteria food. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Oh, hi, Jimmy. This is Kay calling.
Hi, Kay. How are you doing in Detroit? How are you doing out there?
You're getting to know I live in Detroit. We're hanging in there. I wanted to apologize for my phone call last night. I couldn't get my phone to shut off, and it kind of ran through our conversation, and I only had 10 seconds to talk, but it was turning on and off all by itself. And I got kicked out of the sandbox, and it was the strangest thing, so I was kind of in a flux.
I get
But I'm better today. And, I had a couple of things I just wanted to cover on coronavirus since we're doing a town hall meeting here.
Sure.
I kind of like to sandwich things, negative and positive, but I'm going to do the positives first. And one of the things that I did is I started prepping back in January because I got wind of this virus back in December, just through media. And I just thought to myself, well, it's a bioweapon. That's my opinion. And, of course, I've taken a lot of flack for that, but that I felt that it was released on purpose, and it's released under an agenda. And my agenda is they want to install the 5G. They want population control. They want civil credit control, which...
Yeah, well, you know what's weird about that? And I want to talk about your prepping, though, and what you did. But this is what, if it is population control, then it's a failed experiment. Okay?
No, it's a test.
Yeah,
it's a test.
That part's a failed experiment.
No, this is actually, no, not population control. I mean, it's like they want to see how people are going to react when, the real agenda hits. I mean, this is, I think this is a test. This was intentionally a test for this, and it's worldwide.
Okay, but don't you think if that's the case, then also it's a failed test? Because the world is going to react to it. We're not going to ignore it like we ignored 5G. And nobody did anything about the installation of 5G. Our community certainly talked about it, but it didn't stop the implementation of anything. There was no medical testing that went on and everything else, and all the talking about how it affects wildlife and dogs and pets and birds. None of that stopped anything. So, but coronavirus, people reacted, and if it in any way turns funky, and this is what I mean by that it turns out that in a couple of months a whistleblower surfaces somebody for real and says that this was a bioweapon and was released into the public, you know what? The awareness is there, and they don't want to deal with the population of this planet, knowing that all of the sacrifices that were made, all of the transportation industry, the jobs that were lost, the economy, the trillions of dollars that disappeared because you want to screw around with a bioweapon, that's a party that they don't want to have an invitation to. So
no, that's the backlash. There's more of us than there are of them, and that's what I've been tweeting out.
That's exactly right. So what did you do to prep, Kay? What did you do to prep?
Well, I've for years and years and years I've drank distilled water or bottled water, so I have it delivered instead of, lugging home all the water. So I called up like Absol Pure or Mountain Spring or whoever, your company would be in your area, and have them deliver 4 cases of water, once every 2 weeks to my house to where I was comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody with a swimming pool, has 10,000 gallons of water to bathe with. You can't drink it. But I did used to work in a restaurant, and one of the tricks that we had for that was 1 cap of bleach and a gallon of water will sanitize water for 6 months instead of it starting to turn to algae.
Mm.
So people that want to take tap water and, store it, all they have to do is put 1 cap of the bleach, which is a half a teaspoon, into the water. It's not, it's enough to dilute it, not to kill you, but it's enough to keep the bacteria down to where it'll be okay for 6 to 8 months.
No, I had heard that. I'm going to look into that a bit further, and if that's the case, that's good to know. We're bottling.
Well, it's just a sanitizer,
Yeah.
at that dilution, at that level of dilution.
Yeah, we're filtering our water and bottling our own. We've got a little backstash of water, and I think that we're going to be okay there. And my concern is, with my family and with everybody else out there, if you got, the basic stuff, and that I really mean this: pasta, some beans, and some rice.
Right.
Some canned meat, whatever, man. Just get yourself some canned chicken, canned beef, tuna fish, salmon, all of that. Just make sure you've got a backstash of that. I do have some Numana chicken and Numana ground beef and freeze-dried this and that and meals and things. And, we're okay. We're okay. Is it enough to last for a year? No. But if the doo-doo hits the fan, we're good to go, And
well, I'm good for about 6 months, so
yeah.
I feel comfortable with that because hopefully somebody's gonna come up with something in 6 months. But another thing was Johns Hopkins University.
Mm-hmm.
They connected up with the CDC, and they came out with some kind of matrix where you can go on there daily and get updates as far as where the viruses are, which countries are being affected, how many cases, how many deaths, and things like that. If you want that information to make you feel a little bit better.
I read the same thing. And thank you for reminding me and sharing that with everybody.
And I think everybody should know that because everybody's kind of in a panic flux right now. And just one funny thing, at 6:30 this morning, they came across my phone that our buses were at 10% capacity because we don't have mass transit here in Detroit. They were at 10% capacity, so they were concerned about that at 9 o'clock or at 8 o'clock. They didn't have enough drivers, and at 9 o'clock they shut the Department of Transportation completely down.
Yeah, I've been thinking about the same thing here in Southern California, and our mass transit is something to be desired anyway. But I thought about that same thing. So there you go. Well, Kate, be safe, be well, and
I'm working on it.
And check back in with us on Thursday.
Okay, I'll do that if I come up with any more information. I'm trying to stay on a positive note for everybody out there because I think that's important.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
We're all in a frenzy, but the more positive, information that you can get instead of all the negative that's being out there, I think that's going to help a lot of people get through what's going on.
Thank you, Kay. And that was Kay from Detroit. Thank you for the phone call, and thank you for checking in. Tonight is our Fade or Not Coronavirus Town Hall, taking your calls all night long. Check in with us. I want to know how you're doing, what you're doing, how the community is. Are you sheltering in place? Are you working from home? and how you feeling. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. Dan, Pacific Northwest.
Hi, can you get off speaker for me?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, who's this?
This is Danny from the Pacific Northwest.
Hi, Danny. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, Jimmy. We're doing pretty good out here out here at the Northwest. Actually, things are like starting to settle down a little bit. I think everybody was into panic, but everybody's starting to be take a chill pill. It's like kids on a playground. They're
how
settling down.
How far in the Pacific Northwest are you? Are you Washington State or Oregon?
I'm right in Oregon, up in the northwest corner of Oregon.
Yeah. Okay. And what about the stores? Are you prepared if anything goes a little bit nuts? Or do you feel good? Do you feel safe?
Well, yeah, but we're 68 years old, so we're don't feel good about this thing because we're the target for the virus. But we're safe and we're protected, and we didn't there's not a lot of panic. I go to the store, I don't go to the store much. We stay home, or we've been isolating for about a week. And I've been to the store a couple of times. I'll go late at night before they close. And
right.
There's stuff on the shelves. There's still no toilet paper, and bread is gone by midnight. But there's food on the shelves, and people aren't really panicking. If they take more than their fair share, they sort of get dirty looks. It's not like a community thing to be doing. It's not cool to be doing that. And
what about vitamins and supplements? If you're 68 years old, you want to stay on top of that, right?
Yeah, and we always have. A lot of the Schedule 1 drugs that you need, like your psych meds or your painkillers and stuff like that, no one's going to get those. Those are all going to run out in no time at all, probably. But we've got vitamins, and we've got all of our pills. The pharmacies are open. We're getting our pharmacies, and everything's pretty cool. We got we didn't go out and get a bunch of toilet paper like a lot of people, but we've been to India, so we got a bidet. That was one of the first things we got when we came home from India. It's like, man, those people are cool. They got it together with those bidets. So.
Well, do you think, Danny, that your government is doing everything that they can? Do you feel good about that in the hospitals and the healthcare system?
I know that the hospitals and the healthcare systems, especially, I have a son and a nurse down there where you live in L.A., and they're pretty worried about it because they expect to have a spike, but it's not an Armageddon for them. They're going to work, and they're taking care of patients, and they're triaging them in the parking lot. But as far as our government's concerned, I think that they're being a little bit overreactive. My grandkids need to be in school. They are vectors for older people, but it's up to us older people to stay at home and take care of themselves and avoid them. That's the hardest thing. I haven't been able to see my granddaughter for a month, but and as far as middle-aged people, they're going to get the virus, and if they get it at all, and they'll stay home in 2 or 3 days, they'll be back to work. Everything's going to be running just fine. It's like you said, we're brothers and sisters, and this isn't an asteroid. We've dodged a big bullet here. I think some good things can come of this, but the government is, I think, a little bit overreactive because they're just, covering their own butt.
Yeah, I see. You hit all the nails on the head right there. I truly believe that we're going to come together. We're going to take care of everybody that needs to be taken care of. We're going to come together as a planet. We need to start forgetting about these petty differences that have been dividing us. and not only on a global scale and imaginary lines and borders between countries, but Republicans and Democrats and this and that. I mean, stop all of the drama. That stuff doesn't matter. It you know what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
matter. We all
It's like-
shop at the same markets. We all eat the same food. We're going to be going to the same hospitals if we need to. This kind of petty stuff does not matter, and it puts everything into perspective. And Danny,
it sure does.
Yeah, Danny, I want to thank you for the phone call, man. And I'm glad that you guys are safe up there. I will say this. Your next trip to the store, get some multivitamins, man. Get some multivitamins. Make sure.
We got them.
Yeah, okay.
We got them.
I want to make sure.
We're all covered, Jimmy.
Yeah, if you're 68, you need to make sure your immune system is up there, man. That's all. All right? Behave and
Doing
be
everything we can. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you,
you
Danny.
And your family, best to you and your family.
Yeah,
Bye.
and you too. I really appreciate the phone call. And that's what we are doing tonight. We are checking in with everybody all around the country. I want to hear from all of you. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know how your family's doing, what you're doing to be prepared. Are you happy with the government, the healthcare system, everything else? Are you getting the information that you need as not only as an American, but I do want to hear from anybody else too around the world. Canada, Mexico, Europe, Spain, United Kingdom. I just sneezed live on the air. I've done that twice. In 7 years. Tonight, you got the second one. And I'm going to continue to put calls on hold. I'm going to get everybody prepared for when we return after this short break. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our Fade to Black, Fade or Not, Coronavirus Town Hall. I want to hear from all of you. I do. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you prepared? What are you doing? Are you at home watching movies? Are you working from home? Have you been asked to shelter in place? I want to know all of it. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fade or Not? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fade or Not, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting, interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in. Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to FadeToBlack with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our Fade or Not Coronavirus Town Hall. We're taking calls from all of you. I want you to check in. I want to know how you're doing, how your family is doing, how you're making out with all of this. Have you prepped? Have you been ready? Are you going to be in some type of isolation? Are you working from home? All of these things. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is David and Lori from Georgia. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, David and Lori. How are you guys?
We are doing good, doing good. Hope everybody out there is doing good, too.
Have you, how's the community? How's the family? Have you taken care of business at home? Are you guys ready to ride this out if you have to?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. The community is pretty good. I'm just noticing a lot more people from, other cities and stuff like that, coming this way to buy stuff from these stores. It's a bunch of upheaval, I think, but I want to look at it in a positive way, too, in the form of, at least we're all coming together, and we could do good out of this, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we're all with one another, our loved ones, and, takes people to recognize something like this kind of thing can happen, out of nowhere. But in the end, hopefully it shows positivity,
I agree with you. And I said this last night, and I put this in my column today for the Telepath, which is going back to what Ronald Reagan had said at the United Nations in 1987, right? What would it take for us to forget our differences and come together as one? And would it be an alien, situation from another planet? And we didn't expect it.
I thought the same. Yep. Wow.
Well, and it turned out to be coronavirus. That may be bringing this planet together. And I feel, I think about, of course, our friends and neighbors here in the United States, but man, it's a little bit nuts there in Italy. It's pretty crazy.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah, and Iran. Say what you want about Iran, it doesn't matter to me. They are going through it. You think we're going through some crazy stuff right now, but Italy, I think of Italy and I think of Vespa motor scooters, ciao,
Right,
and
absolutely.
and
they're singing together, outside of their windows and stuff. I saw that online. That was so cool, man.
Yeah, exactly. So just maybe if we have something good that comes out of this, is that we can come together as a planet. Not as a country. We're going to do that too in a community. We're going to do that too with our friends and neighbors and stuff. But as a planet, maybe we're going to come together. And I also said today, I'm going to say this, David, is that I said today, just maybe, as you are doing your social distancing and you're at home now, that maybe you will actually cook a sit-down dinner and use that dining room table that you haven't used in years to sit down and have a conversation with your family and eat a home cooked meal. Just maybe.
Absolutely, it's the little things that count.
Right. Just maybe you are some of those people, because I get it. I totally do. Well, I'm glad you guys are safe and your community isn't freaking out like it is out here. That makes me feel pretty good. You guys got your heads on straight.
And just another thing, like for the listeners, please just ease up on the elderly. If they're good people, we're here because of them,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
100%.
There's a lot of crazy going on, but anyway, I love you, Jimmy. I love you and Rita. I love you all to death. And all the Fader-Knots, we love you to death. And that coffee is amazing, man.
That's it. And you can go right now, rivermooncoffee.com. Use that promo code Jimmy. 20%. Yes, 20% off all the way through Thursday night. If you need to shelter in place, you're working from home, you need to hang out for a little bit, you don't want to run out of the coffee. You got to have the coffee. David and Lori, you guys behave, man. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. You too, my man. Goodbye.
That's a great phone call right there. And it makes me feel good knowing that Southern California is like the only place that's out of control. That makes me feel pretty good, because right now things are nuts here. And I'm not cool with it. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2, 1. Man, I hate to do it. Let's go to the next caller. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Kevin coming to you live from West Virginia.
Hi, Kevin. So you guys are not the last man standing.
Not anymore.
So,
but hey, I'm prepared. I've got multivitamins, vitamins, supplements, food, but not a run on toilet paper. So we'll get by.
You got paper towels. You got Kleenex.
Got paper towels, yeah.
Whatever.
The thing that got me about this whole thing, it's something in the back of my mind I kept seeing on social media, West Virginia, and it was like this little hole in the United States, and people putting memes and stuff on social media. Well, I knew it was coming, but the point is, I didn't panic. I just went out, got what I needed, and I come back, and it's good. We're doing fine.
What about because you guys only had your first coronavirus case today, there probably wasn't a whole lot of panic in the state, was there? Was there?
No, not really.
Yeah, the stores and everything and the craziness. But so you guys didn't panic, and you guys aren't doing any, isolating yourself and staying at home and working from, all of that has been pretty chilled out there, hasn't it?
Right. Folks in West Virginia are a pretty hardy breed, and I was brought up that way to, I'm old enough, I lived pre-computer age, all that stuff. And, you used to go out and you play with other kids. You didn't have the internet. And if worse comes to worse, and it may, but until it does, I'm doing fine. But we like I said, went out and played, got ourselves beat up, never worried about it. And for a moment, I was thinking of that, again, I got to throw some space stuff into this. I was thinking of that pale blue dot, somebody looking back at that planet. And it's not about borders. It's not about people of color. We're all humans. And all the people freaking out has stopped.
It feels
Just
that
like
way. Yeah, it feels that way. It just it
does,
feel
yeah.
that way. Yeah, no. I feel the same. That all of that kind of bad news is not in the headlines all of a sudden. It's really weird. It's
Well, it's
really
like you said
weird.
earlier, what Reagan said. It didn't happen the way he said it in the speech to the United Nations, but it happened.
Yep.
And now people are waking up. They're dealing with it.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. And when you know you hear it so often in times like these. Well, you know what? Right now it is in times like these. I mean, for real. When I heard, today that we might have a 20% unemployment rate, which is going to be temporary, but that does not help the people that are out of a job, that are wondering about, and think about all of the restaurants and the travel industry and everything across the huge amount of things that are just shut down. The movie theaters, people work there. Stores, people work there. You know, when I heard today Macy's is closing down nationwide, you hear about all of these things. These are people's jobs. And I know that the administration is working on sending everybody $1,000, and I'm happy about that. I really am. And that a second $1,000 is going to come in a couple of weeks later, and the IRS is stepping in. You know what? I'm thankful for all of that. But the impact is going to be felt for a long time. And it's something that we have to, thankfully, that's what we have to deal with, that we don't have to deal with something much, much worse. Like I said last night on the show, and I was being a little facetious in saying this, but it's true. This is not like an asteroid has hit the planet, right? That's not what's, we're not dealing with a nuclear war. We're dealing with an economic crisis that is artificially brought on by the media overhyping this worldwide. The coronavirus may be something real to be thinking about, but not dealing with it in these terms. And that's my take. So that's what we have to deal with. It's not like the other things that we have gone through in the past. And so we're gonna get through it. We're gonna be better when we do. And we're going to look at this planet a little bit differently. So I agree with everything that you just said, Kevin.
Well, actually, it's like humanity now is taking those baby steps to grow up.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Be safe and be well. Give it to me.
Go back, Lee Tappy.
Go back, Lee Tappy. Thank you, Kevin. Be safe out there, man.
You too, Jimmy. Thanks for the phone call.
Yeah, thank you. That's another great phone call from Kevin in West Virginia. And with that, let's go over here and see what is happening. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, thank you. That's another great phone call from Kevin.
Okay, you got to turn me down in the background. Okay, that's it with that phone call. You got to be ready. You got to be ready. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Oh, I lost that one. This is our Fade or Not Coronavirus Town Hall. Let's see who's next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Paul from down in cloudy Grants Pass.
Paul in cloudy Grants Pass, Oregon. How are you doing?
Hey, I am doing absolutely great. Several pieces of humor. The one thing that we've run into up here is spot shortages, but shelves seem to refill on the next load in. I'm a little worried about supply chains in the long run, but for now everything's fine. Social distancing is a problem for safe sex. That's an issue. We did have, that was part of the humor. We did have some people post a video that a friend of mine picked up and put out on the web that Grants Pass was under martial law early on. I happened to be out that morning. They were talking about it, and a National Guard unit had come through and grabbed breakfast at the In-N-Out. So, it was that kind of silliness.
Yeah.
Has been going on.
Yeah, Paul, and those kind of rumors, and that's the thing. Unless it's official or you hear from us, don't go and listen to a friend of a friend of a friend said. Social media is it's really, really funny. I'll comment a little bit more about this in a bit. But are you ready? Do you feel good? Are you all of that? You got your vitamins, your supplements, your medication. You got some food to eat.
We're golden. We live outside of town, so we go into town about every 3 days, and I time it for when the fewest people are out and about.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's
all you can do.
Yeah, and Paul, thank you for the phone call, and Gobekli Tepe, and that makes me feel good knowing that the madness out there seems to be isolated to here in Southern California, and I don't know, honestly, I don't know what the deal with it is, and the only thing that makes sense to me, excuse me, is that people in Southern California are never ready for anything. They're just not. They live their lives in the fast lane, and it's just day to day to day to day. They spend so much time in traffic and coming home and trying to find time to do all of those things. You're not shopping. It's the exact opposite of what everybody does around the country, which is shop normally, every couple of weeks, and you're always, shopping on payday every couple of weeks and loading up the house. That's a normal existence. That's not how it goes here in Southern California. So boom, something happens like this, and nobody, and I mean nobody, is ready. Okay, I've got another round of calls lined up here. Let's go straight back to the phones and say, hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, Sarah Ann. How are you?
This is who?
Sarah Ann. I'm sorry you took me by surprise.
Hey, Sarah Ann. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really happy that you're doing this. I've had kind of a challenging time with this whole, I just want to say, how people are treating one another, and how I have felt kind of misunderstood, and having experienced my own meltdown, and just kind of reflecting upon all that.
Well, how so? I mean, in a positive way or a negative way?
Well, yeah, it's totally positive, of course, because, I look at that in everything, but what I found was that thinking that I was aware of well, let me just get very specific. I used to live in North County, San Diego, the center of the New Age community and the Crystal Kids and the conscious community, and very active in the conscious business community there. But I'm still connected with many groups in California. But when I started to express that I was interested in knowing about how people were dealing with not socially isolating, but I focused on quarantine was the term that I used. I couldn't believe how persecuted I was.
Yeah, that's a bad word.
It really took me by surprise.
Yeah.
It really took me by surprise. But But what happened was there was a lack of understanding between what I considered to be quarantining and what the conscious community in North County, San Diego thought of quarantining. You know, I'm not one to like hang out because I need physical contact with my community and eye gazing and 5-minute hugs and all that stuff. That's not my jam. I'm considering quarantine like really not having contact with the outside world. And, you know, just the lack of understanding was interesting for me to perceive. But also, like, I felt really upset because I felt like nobody was really willing to have that exploration with me and to learn from it. And that's my own thing, and I need to learn how to kind of back off. But I just have found that online it doesn't make so much sense to talk right now.
Yeah.
And that has been very disappointing for me.
Well, everybody, this is the thing about social media and your friends list. Everybody right now is stressed out. Social media is already a dangerous minefield. You don't know about people's personal lives, right? You don't know what they're going through on a day-to-day basis. You don't know these people directly. You don't know if somebody's trying to be funny, if they're trying to be serious. They're just typing. You're not listening to the. You've already got those issues on the table. Now throw in the stress of coronavirus and saying something to somebody or posting it out there and how they're going to take it. So of all the times that we may be having to take things an extra step in the sensitivity area with social media, right now is the time. You just don't know. You don't know if you're dealing with somebody that's a bartender that's had their bar shut down. They've got a couple of kids, single mom, single dad, and suddenly who's living off of tips, that's had that daily income removed, and somebody out there like me wants to be flippant or insensitive with some kind of comment. You just don't know. And right now we all just need to be a little bit more aware with that. And again,
you nailed it, Jimmy.
Yeah,
you nailed it.
And I don't want to be some crystal flinging, seventh chakra dude. I'm not that guy. I don't even want to come close to sounding like that. But I know that I can type something, or I can say, I can, and I try to be funny with, and people take it the wrong way. In a normal day, that's a normal day, right? Right now, it's not like that for any of us. So we should, and I'm not saying we got to be some wimpy, sensitive thing. Just come on, man. And you don't want somebody to come at you the wrong way. It goes right. It's a two-way street. So everybody, man, just chill out. Just chill out. You know what's funny, Sarah Ann, and I mean this. If we just chill out, little social isolation, hang out at home, cook some food, watch some movies, talk to your friends or your neighbors or your kids that you've been ignoring anyway because you're just a jerk, right? And do all of these things. Just imagine the changes that we're going to see on this planet in a couple of weeks. And I'm serious. We're going to look at everybody just a little bit differently. And that's me. That's me. That's me, and I'm going to stick to it, Sarah Ann. Right now, Rita's down in her studio rolling her eyes going, man, I know the real church. But I'm...
Well, I mean, this is stretching all of us. But what's interesting, and I'm going to take it into aliens, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
Consideration and being sensitive to our community. Listen, what is very important to me is what I've suddenly had all this contact with the Greys. And don't get triggered, people. Like, it is what it is. And they have shown me, like, Sarah Ann, you really are concerned about leveling off the burden of social distancing. Because what I know is that being able to quarantine is a privilege. Like, this is what I'm concerned about. Like, do not crucify people if they have to go out in public, because they're probably doing it because they need to, not because they don't care, not because they are being, whatever. And all of a sudden I started getting all this contact around how this is a training for everybody who potentially is carrying the ascension process for humanity and potentially can be, if you will, somebody who is a concierge for all ETs when disclosure really happens. And everybody is being watched, and this is a huge learning opportunity. And, we're testing the temperature right now. So with that said, they reminded me of what we can learn for how they handled the hybridization project. And I'm going to, talk about that in just a second. They also reminded me of what being conscious really is. If you look up conscious in the dictionary, it's not about doing the right thing. It's about being aware of everything that is around you and your place and all that. The greatest perspective in being able to integrate that, not condoning that behavior, but understanding what is happening around you so that you can love in the way that you do, and you don't have to do hands across America and be naked and chanting, but be able to hold space for love through the awareness of others, right, and what the needs really are. And I don't think we're really focusing on how many people can die as a result of quarantining. And that doesn't mean I don't care. That means I'm really looking and being curious and trying to be conscious. But they said that there's a difference between conscious and being conscientious. Because conscientious is trying to do what you think is right. And if you don't do what you think is right, it wears on your conscience. And that the concept of expanding our consciousness is really being touched on because most people are thinking that they have to be more conscientious. And that's just dividing us. And I thought that was really, 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 really interesting and something to look at as we start to redefine, well, what is it to really be conscious during these times of initiation? And they said, Sarah, when we decided to abduct humans, and I'm somebody who I feel has the right to speak about this, we decided that it was the smartest, most effective and efficient solution for saving our species, and that there was sort of an agreement. And we did it in a way that was what we could take in the best for everybody. Most people don't remember it. They have little memories. It's not that we were being unconscious of the human experience and how we could damage it. We were very aware of everything that could just take down humanity because of the trauma. And we did our best to minimize that. And I thought that was really, really interesting. And they're like, this is the time to connect with the possibility of what it would be like to be a gray. Because we hold the key to being really logical. We hold the key to looking at how do you triage a crisis like this? Because you can't cherry pick whose lives are saved. Because people can, kill themselves if there's a financial crisis just as easily as die from the coronavirus. So how are we really being fair?
Yes. And not only are those, words of wisdom and need to be said and need to be heard, but I will continue to say one thing. In a month, we'll be able to look back and figure this out. Right now, it's not that kind of environment. There's too much action going on. We don't understand. Mm-hmm. We don't have the facts. We don't know we don't. In fact, we know very little. In a month or two, we're going to look back and we'll be able to, with discernment for real, and know what actually happened and why. But right now, we just need to come together and get through this. And those are the facts. Those are the facts. Sarah Ann, thank you so much, and be safe out there. And you're good with your parents, and everything's cool, and you're going to be fine?
Well, I'm quarantined with my parents. You tell me.
Well,
I'm doing all right. Thank God for the FadeToBlack community.
That's what I'm talking about. Sarah Ann, we'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you so much.
All right. Go back, Tappy. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, go back, Tappy. Sarah Ann. That's what I'm talking about. I got to take a commercial break right here. This is FadeToBlack. Tonight is our Fade or Not Coronavirus Community Town Hall. All right? I want to hear from all of you from all around the world. 747-228-2051. More of your calls are next. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to GetTheT.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's GetTheT.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from Rivermoon. Just click on the Rivermoon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So, are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. I want to hear from all of you tonight, from all around the country, all around the world. 747-228-2051. This is our Fade or Not Coronavirus Town Hall. All right, so I want to know, are you okay? What are you doing? How's your family doing? Are you prepped? Are you sheltering in place? Are you working from home? Are you happy with the government's response to this, the healthcare system? Have you been tested? All of these things. I want to hear from you all around the world. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. This is Tom from Phoenix.
Hey, Tom from Phoenix. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. given the circumstances. People probably a lot worse off than I am right now.
And what's it like out there in Phoenix?
You know, they just. I'm a school teacher, so they just shut down the schools for 2 weeks, but people are talking about more time there. And then just today they shut down, going out to bars or restaurants and things. So it's starting to ramp up a little.
What are your?
They've been.
Well, hold on. Let me jump in, Tom. You're a school teacher. What grade do you teach?
So I do K through 4. I'm a special education resource teacher.
Oh, right on. That's really, really cool. What are you talking to your students about? Are they freaking out? Do they realize really what's going on worldwide?
See, here's the thing with my situation right now is we were already getting a week off for spring break.
Right.
So and no one knew this was going to happen until a couple of days ago. So we were already off. I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Everything just kind of happened, and then escalated.
Right.
Every day it was kind of like a whole new world when you were waking up. So I didn't get a chance to talk to them. And then they're on a week vacation that they already had. So they already planned another week off after this. But if it got down and they brought schools back right then, I don't think the disruption would be too bad. Now they're talking about it going into fall and wrecking Husker football season. That would be an issue for me.
Yeah, but, when our governor here in California announced today that schools are just going to stay closed all the way to summer, the school year's off. That's it. And so that's their plan. And the students, this is, when you think about it, including yours, when they do come back, they're not going to be the same students as when you saw them last, right? I mean, they've...
No, this is kind of, I make the comparison a little to 9/11 where things changed with travel and things. This is going to change with hygiene and, how we go about our daily lives. I wash my hands now every time I come in the house. So some of that's going to stick with us. I think there's going to be a lot of things changed after this, especially the healthcare.
Yeah, you know what I used to, I'm just going to be straight with everybody. I was a chronic hand washer before all of this, but I didn't use soap. Right? I would only, because I like the fresh water on my hands, and I would wash my hands and face constantly. I just did it all the time. I see a faucet, but I wouldn't use soap. Now, soap. Because I don't like the smell. I don't like and I don't like to put soap on my face, right? And so that's my own little trippy little thing. But I would do it, 10, 20, 30 times a day. Not quite OCD, not quite to that level. Maybe it is, but yeah. But now it's soap, man, and it just doesn't matter. And I've got hand sanitizer too.
I'm sorry. I was kind of careless with how I treated hygiene. I even worked in schools, and you just get exposed to so much stuff that when I did get sick, I didn't get sick very long, and I didn't really miss work for being sick that much. But now, and, really luckily I have a wife who was on top of this before it all started, because I think about if I was still single, I definitely wouldn't have any toilet paper.
No, yes, exactly.
She got ready for me. It would have been rough. I don't think I would have made it.
Yes, exactly. Thank goodness for a wife. And there's something else that I always did, and I started doing this probably 20 years ago. But if I'm in a public restroom, I'm at a bar, I'm at a restaurant, airport, whatever. I go into a public restroom, I never touch the door handles. I don't do it. I don't touch the urinal or anything like that. No. I come in, I grab a paper towel, and I'm not touching I'm not touching anything in there. So I'll do that, and then I'll go over and wash my hands and dry, but I'll take a paper towel, and when I walk out, that's what I use on the door handle. And so when I leave the restroom, then I throw the paper towel away. But now,
see, my problem is like I don't think about anything I'm doing. So I walk out of a restroom, I don't know what I touched.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when I first started trying to meditate, and they're like, just be aware of when your mind is not clear. And the whole time I'm realizing that my mind is not clear. And like when I walk around, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing enough. And that's really
you're going to be paying attention from now on. And
exactly.
It's weird. It's something that I always did, and now I'm just glad I had these weird little quirks. You know, Rita's always on me. She's, did you wash your hands? Yes. Did you use soap? That's the key, because she knows I wash my hands all the time. I'll wash my hands and face. I'm always doing it. Now it's, did you use soap? It's like, yes, I use soap. But we need to have, you're right, things are going to change. Let me ask you this. What have the markets been like, the food and things like that? Are people chilled out in Phoenix? Is it not like what's going on out here in Los Angeles?
It is, it's gone at this point. And I remember, like, we were shopping, and my wife was telling me, we need to buy extra. And I was looking at her funny, because there was still everything on the shelf. And so we bought a little extra, and then we bought a little extra, and we bought a little extra each time we went out. And it was like the third day after that, there was nothing. We haven't seen, like, any kind of hand sanitizer or Clorox wipe on the shelf since this whole thing first started. And I don't know, they obviously, we're in a country that can make a lot of things. So I feel like they have all this stuff, but it's just a matter of ramping up production and getting it back out. Yeah. And right now, it don't even make sense to go look because it's not out yet.
Yeah, no, I was telling Rita today, we're good. I miss my eggs. We don't have any eggs at the house, and I'm not going to go back and look for a while. But I miss my eggs. Next week we'll go back and I'll go back on my eggs search. I'm really bummed about that. I'm really bummed.
Yeah, well, maybe it's time to start raising some chickens. I know some people at work who have some chickens out here.
Oh, man.
And I'm thinking, I wish I could do more things for myself at this point.
Yeah.
Thank God for the internet.
Well, and see, that's the thing, is all of this awareness of the way that we live our daily lives. That's, you know what? If there's one thing that comes out of it like that, not only with hygiene, but stocking, making sure that you're not caught unaware, the way that you respect your neighbors, the way that you speak to people, and just I think we're going to come out of this a lot better than going in, and in a weird way, it will be better off for it. And I realize this doesn't help somebody that's had a loved one that has passed away, or somebody that's infected, or somebody that's lost their job. I get that. But we're going to come together, right? And we're all going to have $1,000 checks here in a little bit, and that'll be pretty cool. And that,
I'll take that.
Yeah, well, that makes me feel good that the government, that Washington, D.C. is fully aware of what they do need to do. Enough of the BS, enough of the fighting, enough of this pandemonium that has been going on in Washington for the last 2.5, almost 3 years of insanity. Well, now we're in an election year, so I guess it has been 3 years now. And hopefully those differences and that crap that has been going on both sides, they're both to blame here, that we can grow up from that too as well. That's my take, and I'm going to stick to it, Tom.
Oh, that sounds good. And you have a good night.
Yeah, you too, Tom. Thank you for the phone call.
All right, go back Lee Tepe.
Go back Lee Tepe. And I seriously mean this. Tom is definitely going to have different students in a couple of weeks than he did before all of this kicked off. And it's really, I don't know, as a school teacher, and I'm putting everybody on hold, just stay right there, okay? I'm going to put you on hold. As a school teacher, what were they talking about before? And now going through something like, and think about this, for for California, these breaks in the school system now, it's going to go from March, April, May, June, 4 months off of school. And what are they going to do to teach classes and everything else? I don't know. Or is this going to be makeup time? And do you have to do an extra year, an extra semester in school to graduate? Does it throw the whole school year off? When did you graduate? I graduated in 2020 and a half. I'm just saying, these things need to be considered, and what are we going to do about all of it? Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Donna from Kentucky.
Hey, Donna from Kentucky. How you guys doing out there? You guys are ready.
We're just hanging in there. We've got food at our house, and I hope I got enough toilet paper. I mean, there's always alternatives if I can't speak, I'm sorry. Washcloths and all that stuff if you have to. I mean,
yeah.
Wash them.
Yep. Yeah, we're recycling water bottles, instead of throwing those away and putting them in the recycle bin. We're using them a second, third, fourth time. And we got a water.
Yeah.
We got one of those little Brita water filter gallon jugs. You fill up 2 water bottles, fill it up again, boom, and good to go. Forget that madness that's happening at the supermarkets and Costco.
Well, that's one thing that I'm not understanding that all of you guys are doing with the buying the water bottles and all, because I've got 4 different Powerade bottles that I refill with tap water out of the sink. We don't even have filters.
Yeah, well, there's nothing on the planet more scarier than Los Angeles water. Trust me on this. So you're going to want to filter the water here. But again, people here in Southern California, I'm speaking about my friends and neighbors. I'm just telling you how people think and act here. They don't have water filters. They just buy bottled water. That's what they do. That's how they live their life. They don't have 2 or 3 days worth of food. They don't do that. I know. You know who, and I'm just telling you, my mom in Indianapolis, she laughs at this because she's got a freezer in the garage full of stuff. She's got a pantry, a walk-in pantry that is stuffed full of food. That's just what she does.
Yeah, we got that too.
Yeah,
we've got a cover like Harry Potter. I mean, that thing almost looks like what's on the Harry Potter movies. It's weird. Anyway, we've got it with food in it, and as far as like water goes, I mean, when I was little, we were drinking sulfur water a little bit, and then we also, as kids, would drink out of hoses in the garden.
That's right.
In backyard.
Yep, that's right.
I'm a Gen Xer, so that's what we did.
Yep, that's right. And all of that drinking off of that garden hose made you immune to coronavirus.
I hope so. Well, shoot, bottled water tastes funny to me.
Rita said that last night about my bottled system that I'm doing here with the filtration. She goes, it tastes a little funky. I said, well, it's water. Donna, thank you for checking in with us. I'm glad you guys are safe. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a suggestion.
What's that?
This would be the perfect time for the whole world to push reset on like credit and everything. Everybody just press reset. Just start over, pause the stock market, wipe all the credit clean and all the, national debt of all the countries and everything. Start fresh. It'd be better for our economy, I think.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I've been waiting for my credit to be reset for a long time. Thank you so much, Donna. Be safe and be well. We'll see you tomorrow night right here.
All right. Go Beckley Teppy.
Go Beckley Teppy. Kentucky checking in. Let's stay on the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Robert calling from Oceanside, California.
How you doing, Robert?
Doing good. How are you guys doing out there? You're in Southern California yourself?
I'm in Burbank, and you're in Oceanside, so you're protected. Are you in the Marines?
No, I'm not.
You're the only person in Oceanside that is not in the Marines. Is that what you are saying?
That is correct.
And you're going to stick by it?
Yes. I'm not a Marine. Now, my father-in-law was a Marine. He was a real Marine.
And what I can imagine, this is me, been Oceanside many times, was there not that long ago. Rita and I went to the Oceanside flea market right there off of the freeway. You know the big...
Yes, and they've now canceled that flea market that we have. Well, actually, they have it where all the local farmers come and gather, and we can buy local produce. That has been canceled because of the order from the governor of at that time it was 250 people. Now it's 50 people.
Right.
And who knows after that?
Right. And the community there, because it is so military focused, that's Oceanside. That's just what it is, and it's an awesome community, which also goes for that awesome flea market. And I'm very sad that is not running because it's a cool flea market. It's big. Is this not a lot of panic in Oceanside? I would think you guys are still even keeled.
No, I wouldn't say that. People are panicking. At Winco, the shelves are pretty bare. I mean, there is a little bit of food. I actually work for Costco in Carmel Mountain, and our store has been just every day bombarded with 200-300 people waiting outside at 7 o'clock in the morning trying to get in for toilet paper, for God's sake. And,
really? In Oceanside? You guys are like the cool side of the pillow.
Yes, we are, but with the response from the federal government and with the local government, there's no communication. And between, I'm really disappointed in Trump. I voted for Trump, and I feel there's no communication about the food supply. And I'm seeing what's going off the shelf. Working at Costco and all the stores. I mean, those stores were so busy. The Costco and Vista probably had 4,000 to 5,000 people in the store. They had to shut down Costco's because the fire marshal came in. There's too many people in the stores. But in Oceanside, we have Winco, a very big store. The shelves were bare today. We went in there. There's a lot of meat, but water is flying off the shelves. In my family, we drink distilled water. If it comes down to it, we'll use the water out of the pipe, boil it, whatever we have to do. Our city has gone to toilet to tap water out here in Oceanside. So that's not something we were looking forward to. So, I don't have a filtration system in my house that I would feel comfortable in drinking that water. So I would probably definitely boil the water. But yeah, Trader Joe's was hit hard a couple of weeks ago. And, we went to Winco today. There was no water on the shelves at all. A lot of canned goods were being restocked, but then there was a lot of stuff, no flour or sugar at all on the shelves. People are panicking in this area.
Well, it's my guess, Robert, and look, take what I say worth nothing, but I'm thinking that this wave of stockpiling, how much more can you buy, right? Next week we'll be right back to normal. As far as, the shelves being empty, I think that we'll be back to normal. I mean, how much all the panic shopping has been done, I would think, right?
Not what I'm seeing at Costco. They're coming in on a daily basis in the store and buying up the same, stuff that's been selling out. You can't find anything to clean the counters with. You can't get toilet paper because the toilet paper disappears probably within a couple of minutes. Like at my store in Carmel Mountain, it's it's pretty much gone by the mid-morning, and we've had 200 to 300 people waiting outdoors trying to come in. I know the CEO sent out a email today. I was off today, so I haven't. Only thing I've seen is what I've seen online, saying that they were going to limit the amount of people, members coming into the stores. Just like my one store, we have 300 employees. How in the world, or not at one time, but probably 100 and something, during the day. How in the world are you going to figure out 150 people max or 50 people max, in a gathering place? How in the world are you going to even? This has been just total nonsense. I think Trump has, done a brilliant job bringing the economy back, and now he's totally destroyed the economy. I've never seen one man fix the economy and destroy it in 10 minutes. I voted for Trump. I love Trump, but I tell you what, I'm very disillusioned in Donald Trump, and I don't know what what they're pulling here, because I don't see any numbers for the panic that we're having. How many billion of people are in China, and how many thousands of deaths did you have in China? The numbers are nothing. It's not even 1%, and we've gone to the way of destroying our economy in the United States. It's insanity.
Yeah, I know. I had said, Robert, and I'm not clairvoyant, and I'm not the smartest guy in the room, far from it. But I had said last month, a month ago, when this was starting to ramp up, I said, man, it's not the coronavirus that scares me. It's the economy. And I'm talking about when we didn't even have coronavirus here in the United States. I'm talking about when it was kicking off in China. And I said, if they continue to shut down their factories, and this is what is going to happen over there, this is going to directly affect us here, and it's going to be harsh. It's the economy. That's the thing. That and here we are. We're living with it. So we just got to figure out a way to just get through it. We'll get back to normal. I don't know if it's going to take a year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. But we're not rebuilding the planet because of a massive asteroid. All right, that's not what's going on here. This is a self-inflicted pain that we've got to get through. And we will, Robert. We will.
Yeah, well, what about the question of where this came from? And, looking like it was created out of North Carolina.
Yeah.
And somehow got to China and spread out. And you have that question mark. I want to know where this thing started from.
Yeah, and like I said, and I'm going to stick to everything that I've already said many times on the show. We're not going to know anything for a couple of months. Right now, we've got to deal with what we're dealing with. All of the internet conspiracy theories out there, and there are hundreds about the coronavirus. None of them are the same. They all can't be correct. All right, so putting all of that madness aside, what we need to worry about right now is making sure that we get through this, and those that are going to feel the pinch from this financially are taken care of, and that our loved ones that need our support are taken care of. That's what we need to worry about now. All that other crap, we'll deal with it later. And those that are responsible for it, you know what? They'll be dealt with the way that they need to be dealt with. Whether they don't get reelected, they lose their jobs, or whatever. That stuff is something that'll be dealt with at a later date. Right now, I need to know that you're okay, I'm okay, my neighbors are okay, my parents are okay, and that we can get through this. And that's it. That's where we're at, Robert.
Yeah, we went out today to the Oceanside Pier. Many people were out, old, young, everybody enjoying life. And God did not give us a spirit of fear, and not to live in fear and to be afraid to touch your neighbors or to say hello. That's not life. And we were out, thanks to my wife wanting to get out, get some fresh air. We got some fresh air. I was off work today. I didn't have to deal with that craziness at Costco. We've never seen anything like this.
Right.
As employees, dealing with the stress in the air. You can just feel it. It's just the stress is the panic in people. coming in and shopping and just in a frenzy. When they got that news a couple of days ago that they shut down the counties in the Bay Area, people were just, frantic coming into the store and just buying up anything that they can get their hands on. It's really sad to see that people can be manipulated so easily.
And so quickly. So quickly.
Exactly.
Yep. Hey, Robert, be safe. Take care of yourself
you too,
and
brother.
your family, and say hello to your wife, and we'll talk to you soon.
Man.
Thank you so much. Go Beckley Tepe.
Bye now.
That's another great phone call, and I am late getting to this commercial break. What a great show tonight. Hanging out with all of you, checking in with everybody from around the country and around the world. This is Fade to Black. Tonight is our Fade or Not Coronavirus Town Hall. All right, more of your phone calls are next. Stay with me. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Tepe.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. There's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is our Fade or Not Coronavirus Town Hall. I want to hear from all of you all around the world, all across the United States. 747-228-2051. This is our last segment. It's been a great show tonight, and I do want to give a big shout-out to everybody that is over hanging out in YouTube, in the chat room there, Periscope, Facebook Live, on our radio page. We have everything that we normally do every night: TalkStream Live, Spreaker, KGRA, The Planet, and TuneIn, and our normal outreach. And it's really great to see everybody hanging out and being fun, being cool. That's the main thing when it comes to Fade to Black. There's just no goofballs allowed. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, how you doing, Jimmy? I'm going by Hitori Hanzo whenever I pop up on radio shows now.
Hitori Hanzo. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll go with Hitori Hanzo. That is what I'm logging in. There you go. How you doing tonight? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Galveston, Texas, right in that Gulf Coast.
Yeah, right on. And you guys cool out there? Are you guys panicking?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, everyone over here is pretty dang cool. I don't see any panic on anybody's face. There isn't any, rushing. Everybody's pretty normal down here. Anybody I see, I'm trying to chill them out since I've been awake since I was 7. I'm 29. I know what's going on. Are you keeping up with Q?
Am I keeping up with Q? I don't have time to keep up with Q.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. Luckily, I was there from the first night.
And, yeah. Well, anyway, that is such a strange question in that okay, I'm going to answer you this way. The things that interest me, which is all things conspiracy, right? Takes up all of my research time. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about lost history and UFOs and time travel and it's
technology,
all of that stuff, right? So there's that to deal with on a daily basis. And Q comes along, or other things like Q, that
spontaneously.
I don't have the time. I don't have the time for a new hobby. I don't. I've got radio controlled drones here in the bunker that haven't been charged in 6 months. Right? I just don't have the time. I don't have time for any fun or anything else. And
I got you. So today is the 17th.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty coincidental. St. Patrick's Day.
Mm-hmm.
St. Patrick did chase the snakes out, did he not?
Well, and I was watching some live footage of Ireland today. Lockdown.
No kidding.
Isn't that when anything like this, where you have the bars in Ireland closed down on St. Patrick's Day, that's when the stuff is starting to get a little serious.
Yeah, that's like hell freezing over.
It is. UEFA, the European Soccer League, has put up, that is just like the World Cup, right? You have UEFA and the World Cup. You cancel UEFA in Europe, forget about the NBA, Major League Baseball, and the NFL here in the United States and NASCAR. UEFA dwarfs all of that combined, right? I mean, I'm just telling you. And that's when the stuff is really, 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 really serious.
I think
I'm not making fun.
It's serious when Bill Gates starts to jump ship.
Yeah, somebody sent me a list. It was an email, and whoever sent me that list, I haven't had a chance to respond back, sent me a list of about
resignations.
20 CEOs that have stepped down in the last week. And I started to go through the list, and of course, the names that I know were there, but there were other ones. I went and looked, and sure enough. So that is something.
Have you heard of this?
I'm going to spend some time.
Celestial lawsuit?
No.
Okay, man. That celestial lawsuit, they were talking about on Caravan to Midnight the other day.
John B. Wells?
Right, yeah. Man, I'm really curious. I don't know if maybe if you can say, just say pass if you don't want to talk about it. What do you think happened to Art?
Art Bell?
Yeah, because I was waiting to hear him that night when he didn't show up, and I got pissed. Because I don't feel like he would ever make that mistake. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit close to the fire to be making any kind of personal comments, and I still I work for Coast to Coast and other things, and so I'm there. I'm a little bit too close to the fire. I'll say.
I also like to point out,
but let me say this really quick. Art lived an isolated life out there in Pahrump. He had his little compound there. He broadcasted from a trailer that was next door. He owned the property next door too as well. And when you get up into that age, and he spent so many years out there isolated, I can tell you this: you don't know
his habits.
You don't know the truth. Nobody else out there, nobody, I'm telling you, nobody knew what was going on out there. And anybody that says that they did or that they do is not telling the truth. So, did it happen the way it happened? It might have. Did it happen another way? It's all speculation because
possibility and probability.
Nobody was there. Nobody was there. Could it have been, he had his back problems, he had his health issues, he took some pain medications, and his body just said, you know what, I'm 72 years old, I'm checking out. It just may be that. He's 72. Yeah, He's 72 years old, man. He wasn't 50, he wasn't 40, he wasn't 30, he was 72 years old. And I just want the conspiracy side or the weirdness side of Art. He left this earth a couple of years ago. He was 72 years old. He had a great career. He had a lot of fans out there. And
huge inspiration.
That's it. It was, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if it wasn't for Art Bell. And the night that he passed, and I mean this, the night that he passed, I went on Coast to Coast with George, and the truth is the truth. I'm a fill-in host over at Coast to Coast AM. I worked for Art and his network for almost 2 years. And was given opportunities from Art and Keith to start broadcasting, and so there's a lot of thanks there, and opportunities were given. And I was asked to come over to Coast, and the success of FadeToBlack and everything else is, you can go back and say it's because Art inspired me, 20, 30 years ago. To do what I'm doing today, and that's where I choose to leave it. Hittori, anything? Are you prepared? Are you ready to get through the next couple of weeks?
Let me put it to you this way: I've been waiting for this for about 15 years.
So you're good to go.
Storm.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Good.
You're good to go. And thank you for calling in tonight. First time caller too as well. I look forward to our next chat.
All right, man. You take it easy.
Yeah, you too, Hittori. Thank you so much. Hittori Hanzo. I feel in my bones that that is something that I'm supposed to understand or know about. Hittori Hanzo. There's something going on there. Hi, you're live on FadeToBlack. Who's calling?
Matt from Battleground, Washington.
Hey, Matt from Battleground, Washington. Where's Battleground, Washington, Matt?
It's like 30 minutes north of Portland.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So you're up there in the thick of it then.
Yeah, and we're doing great. People around here are happy, and kids are playing outside, and it's actually kind of weird.
That makes me happy, man. That makes me happy. That makes me happy.
Yeah, and we had the kind of push, the rush where people that weren't prepared that you were talking about, they all went and took, it's funny, flour, sugar, water, toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
But business as usual. A couple of days later, you go in, there's all the shelves are stocked and people are, back to work. And it's just weird what's going on right now,
Well, some job security. If you're a trucker, right now you're getting all the work you can handle.
Absolutely. And actually, I work for a company that builds equipment that Apple buys, and they've actually sent me over to China back in 2011. So I got to experience that whole, area at one point in my life, and I can say that now we're flipping the script. Everybody wants to lay people off. We're pushing items out the door because we don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks.
And do the supply chains of China, especially doing what you do, the supply chains of China, we're going to pay the price for this for a long time, in that we don't manufacture anymore in the United States, and we depend on China to get stuff over here so we can build things, whatever it is. That's something it's going to be a crush for a while, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're feeling it. We sell a lot to Italy, and that's been stopped. South Korea, that's been shut down. China, that's been shut down. So with all our other customers worldwide, we're trying to ramp up because we don't know when we're going to get stuff in, because it's kind of a back and forth relationship, especially with China. They give us stuff, then we build it, then we send it back.
Right.
So,
And there's another aspect to this too as well. I really appreciate the phone call, Matt. Is we export a lot of food to China, and everything that is happening right now, where I hear different leaders and community leaders speaking about, food may be a little bit strange right now, but we have enough. Everything's going to be fine. I'm wondering if we're going to be exporting less to China because of the consumption that we are suddenly doing here in the United States.
I think that's a real possibility, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to take care of, it's weird for me, but to take care of our own, but also come together as a global union right now. Like, I really notice it with my neighbors that we live in a nice neighborhood, but most people just kind of go about their business. But I've seen a turn, at least in my perspective, is now my neighbors are waving, they're happy, they're speaking to you, they want your kids to play with our kids. Like, it's totally different than other places I've seen where people are so segregated or distancing themselves. It's actually kind of refreshing in a way.
Yeah,
I know during this hard time, but it is.
You're right. And as long as you say those things and I say those things, I think that everybody's kind of feeling the same way. And you know what? I think it's cool. Doesn't help people that are out of work. Doesn't help any of that. And I understand that. But we're going to get through this, and we're going to be better off in the end. Matt, thank you so much, my friend. I'm glad you guys are safe up there.
Jimmy, I want to tell you something. I was with you at Soltech. I met you up there when we went up to East Eddy.
Right.
And I was in the field the day you had your sighting, and I took a picture of it.
Oh, did you? Email it to me.
Okay, I will.
Are you talking about the beer can?
I'm talking about the beer can. And the reason I know is because we were supposed to be in class, me and my wife, but we skipped and went for a walk.
Right.
And I seen all you guys standing out there looking up at the sky and pointing, so I got my camera phone out, and I was like, wow, there's probably something cool up there. So I just started taking photos. And in one of the photos over across the side of Mount Adams, I caught the beer can spinning.
Man. You've got my email, right?
Yeah, I got your email.
I've got your phone number here. I will harass you, Matt, until my last breath. I want that picture, man. I want that picture. All right?
All right, cool.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. You've got my email, right?
Yeah, I got your email.
Okay, and I've got your phone number. I'm not going to shout it out here, but I've got it right here. And you send me that picture, I send you the FadeToBlack party pack of doom. Deal?
Excellent. Yeah, deal.
Thank you, Matt. Behave and be well. I'm glad you guys are safe.
I will too. You too.
Have a great night. Go back, Tappy. Thank you, Matt.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And there's one silver lining that came out humanity is going to wake up and all of that, and this community phone calls and checking in with everybody. But it looks like I got a beer can photograph from Mount Adams. Matt, thank you so much for that. And I do have your phone number right here, making notes, beer can. And I got to see this picture. I cannot wait. Thank you so much, Matt. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, this is Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. Where are you calling from?
Skytook, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. How you guys doing out there?
Man, we're doing good. I watch everything on the news, and it just seems like everything's going crazy. About the only run we're having around here is the same thing everybody else is, toilet paper.
Rita texted me earlier and said, okay, we get it. We get the toilet paper updates. But, I don't know who. I would love to see graphs of toilet paper sales and what part of the country hit this off first and where the craze started. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it really does, and I would love to see those graphs as well, because it really makes no sense. Because we'll go in there and there'll be like some the meats and stuff, like some of the cheaper meats will be gone, and you can tell they've used quite a bit of canned goods and stuff like that. But other than that, it's not like a big run. I don't ever see anybody in there with hordes of stuff, but it's just crazy. Like we went out to eat tonight, because I thought, well, my gosh, they might shut it down. So we thought, well, we'll go out to eat. But I work for myself, so I go to Home Depot. Nobody's wearing gloves. Nobody's wearing masks. People go to get fuel or whatever. Nobody's washing their hands, getting those. So most everybody around here don't seem to be worried about it. We're certainly not worried about it in my house.
Yeah, and this is what I did about 2 years ago. So Rita and I, we go out, that was about 3 years ago, and we prepped a couple of giant plastic storage boxes, the big jumbo ones, and we just stuffed it full of food. And we wanted to make sure we had a week or two worth of stuff. And we still have it. But in one of those cases, I had a case of 6 cans of no bean chili, right? The good stuff. And
absolutely.
And one night, I was like, man, I want to make some nachos. So I get up out of bed, and I go downstairs, and I get the chips out, I open up the cabinet, I got the cheese, I got some sour cream, I got no chili. I tiptoed out to the garage and opened up, and we swore that we wouldn't open I took out the case, brought it in the house, and I go upstairs. Rita goes, I didn't know we had any chili. I thought we were out.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the chili, church? And man, and I felt so bad about it. So in our stash, we're lacking chili. But I'm glad you guys are cool up there, Kevin. I'm serious about this too. And the rest of Oklahoma, see, this is the thing. Like I was mentioning earlier, you guys got pantries. You guys shop sensibly. You guys do your stuff. You guys, it's middle America, where I'm from. And that's really a way of life for you guys out there. It's not like you guys had a whole lot of prepping to do, because you guys just have pantries and things and that, right?
That's so true. I mean, we have not been to the store except for like tonight, the kids wanted peanut butter and jelly. Was getting low on peanut butter, so I still got peanut butter and jelly. I went and got coffee the other day. I mean, we haven't went out and bought anything because of the coronavirus. We just bought we're out of milk, we're out of this. But yeah, you're right. We've got pantries, we've got 2 refrigerators. We just
Right, exactly. My mom, my mom, and I'm not kidding, you ran out of peanut butter and just said that. She walked and came back with some peanut butter from the pantry.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, man. It's just the way that it is. Nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, Because even if we didn't go get in, that's what I tell everybody. I said we could go 3 weeks. We might not have everything we really want to eat, but we could go 3 weeks easy without ever stepping back in the store. I mean, with the pantry and 2 refrigerators and freezers, no, we're fine. It's crazy. But, you know, I was talking to the girls tonight that was working about it, and they was concerned. They're like, you know, man, we might be able to work, and I do feel bad for them, you know, because that's tough on them, you know, to be a waitress and lose your job.
That's right.
You know, so but the boss said they would plan on, you know, if they didn't shut it down completely, you know, they would allow them to still do the delivery and stuff like that. And I said, hey, you know, I know that me and my friends, stuff like that, we'll still come by and we'll sort of like tip you girls to come out. And, you know, we don't want people to go broke just because, you know, the scare that's going around.
Well, I said to Rita yesterday, I said, I know, you know, when we are really going through the stuff, and she goes, what is it? And I said, when you and I are eating spaghetti with canned salmon and chicken broth.
Yeah.
That's when you know we're in trouble. Hey, Kevin,
you're getting
scraping the last of the last off of the shelf, man.
Absolutely.
Kevin, enjoy the rest of your night. I'm glad you guys are safe and ready. And like I said, we're going to get through all of this. We're going to be just fine. It's going to be tough for a minute, but there you go. Thank you so much, Kevin. Go Beckley Tepe.
Go Beckley Tepe.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. I've got a lot of calls on hold, but let me squeeze in one more here before we run out of time. Whoa. I can't deal with that. Let's go to the next caller. Oh, man. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Dick. How's things going over there?
This is who?
I'm up in Seattle.
Okay, what's your name?
I'm at the Dick Pangello. I'm up here in Seattle.
Oh, hey, man. How are you? Everything good?
Great. Yeah, great. Nice talking to you. Haven't seen you for a while, but hopefully I'll see you at CITD this year again. So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as crazy as people think. I mean, the stores are still doing okay. Traffic is good.
And what about, the news, it seems like Seattle is reacting first, like Seattle and New York City, right? They have to take care of business first. Right. And it feels that way with Seattle, too, as well. But you're living there. What's the overall vibe? I've read the things about Pike Street and tourism is down, but are you guys dealing with it the best that you can?
You know, I think so. I go to the local Kroger store here, which is QFC, and I've been to Fred Meyer. Actually, the day they announced the first case of it or the first death, I was having a meal at a Hawaiian restaurant, probably a quarter of a mile away from the nursing home that had that problem. And then I went to Fred Meyer afterwards and did some shopping. Didn't notice anything, and everything's been fine. But it wasn't until about 3 or 4 days ago that the shelves were kind of getting cleared out. I don't know about Costco because when Rita put the thing out a long time ago about getting stuff. I kind of am prepared anyway because I drive to Arizona a lot, and I always want to make sure I have plenty of water and food and stuff in case something goes on.
Sure.
But the stores have been good, and Costco was fine. But lately it's been terrible. I mean, there's been huge lines, but I already had my stuff by the time everybody else started getting their things, and kind of seen the pandemic fear, the panic around it.
I was driving. I got about 20 seconds, but you reminded me. I was driving, and I was pulling into a parking lot when the first coronavirus death happened up in Seattle. Actually, it was like 4 in the one weekend. And I heard the announcement, and it seems like yesterday. It does. It seemed like it just happened. And compared to where we are today from that news, wow.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm prepared. I'm prepared. I've been prepared, though, for this thing. And I think everybody should take heed on that. Next time there is something, and if it's more serious than this, You know, an earthquake is not 3 days worth of food. An earthquake is 2 or 3 weeks worth of food.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You've lived through them. You know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
And we're up in an earthquake zone up here too, so it kind of makes you a little nervous. So I've always been prepared, and I've always been kind of like you, a clean freak, not touching the bathroom stuff and all that stuff, and always had my Purell at church and stuff like that. And my mom looks at me and goes, "What do you got the church for?" But I've got to stay here and take care of my mom. She's nearby, and so I'm not going out.
Well,
I don't want her to get it.
And I've got to run credits right now, Dick, but having an OG Fadernaut like yourself be the last call of the night makes everything really cool. So thank you so much, and I'm glad you guys are safe up there.
Yeah, thanks. Go back, Lee Tepe.
Go back, Lee Tepe. I can't believe it. That's Frank Pangello right there, OG Fadernaut. Now, everybody in Twitter, go and light it up and say, "Yo, Frank." Dick Pangello. Thank you so much, man. Everything is good. This has been Fade to Black's Fadernaut Coronavirus Town Hall. I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. Thank you so much for checking in all around the country, all around the world. Twitter on fire. Thank you, YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook Live, TalkStream Live, KGRA, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and of course, Spreaker. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Fade to Black's executive producers, Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmasters, Drew the Geek. Music is Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2020 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, Lori Spagna. Until then, be safe. Go back, Lee Tepe.